What up, y'all? It's the Mental Ninja. Just chilling out, man. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning in Vegas, and I'm just posted up on my little comfort zone, man, on my porch, man, looking at the night sky. Got a nice little like desert land behind my house or my apartment that I can overlook, and it's quiet back here and stuff. And just want to give a shout out to all the homies and shit. Peace to King of Higher Self, Spirit Light Body, Eddie Machete, Sir Drop, Mind's Eye, um, the recovering atheist, recovery atheist. Peace to Marty Lees, Killer Priest, Bro Sanchez. Peace to Brother Diadec. Peace to Bro Diadec. Um, Peace to, fuck, there's like so many, man. Lady Leg 75, Kurt Washington Jr., Kiki Williams. I mean, Greedy Vegan, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? All the mods in the chat on Sir Drop's platform. All the mods in the chat on Bro Sanchez platform. And peace to Huey P. Nuisance as well. So, peace to Ingenue Blue. I hope I'm saying it right. So, this video is for you. You had asked a question on idea of manifesting and do I believe it's real or is it true? And you explained, damn, fucking flies and bugs and shit. It's funny because like this light right here in this quiet area attracts all the bugs, all the moths and shit, you know, which is kind of, that might tie into the conversation about manifesting, you know, and I think we're having some fun with this one. So I just did a video on live stream on Facebook Live. It was like an hour long. I was talking about the George Floyd thing, and it was like just the information was like just going as it went as it went. You know what I'm saying? I let the water fall where it may. I let it flow where it's supposed to go. You know, and I hope, you know, that it. And I don't want to say it like this. I hope because of George Floyd and me doing live stream that I get to build my YouTube channel. But I really hope that that whoever watches it likes the content of what I was talking about. I was speaking from the heart and my own considerations. And, you know, hopefully we'll subscribe to my channel because really the whole goal for the channel is, you know, of course, like I would love to end up becoming monetized and get paid to talk, like some kind of money and shit, right? Which is, that's what I do at work on this trip. But at the same time, the whole process is like, it's all about me freely sharing, freely giving this beautiful life that was bestowed upon me by the spirit of the universe, whatever you want to call it, God, Rahu Kuit, fucking Hadith Nui, fucking Babylon Chaos, Baphomet, whatever you want to fucking call it, the Holy Guardian Angel, whatever name you have for it, or whatever ideas you have for it, or single idea, I believe you. You know, but I maybe won't believe you in the aspect is like I have to endorse and conform to your personal opinion. And like if you eat some fries and I haven't eaten none of your fries, I should also digest the fries you ate and I should also shit it out my ass too. Which is like, you see where I'm going with it, you know. Anyway, so Ingenue Blue, thank you, sister, for subscribing to my channel. I'm not really sure. I think you might have found out about my channel through the Billy Carson video I made, you know. So, and I remember you asking me like, you know, who is somebody good? Who is somebody good, like a good teacher? You know what I'm saying? And like, at first I want to tell you, the teacher and the master will be found in the same place. Because when the master is ready, and the student's ready, the master will appear. But in equal understanding, when the master is ready, the student will equally appear because they're meeting each other halfway, being drawn together by some invisible, like a moth to a flame, perhaps. I don't know, and how that ties into what we're talking about, idea of manifesting and shit. So who manifests who? Does the teacher manifest the student, or does the student manifest the teacher? What a fucking predicament. What's really going on and stuff, because it seems like these two ideas, these two concepts, and eventually these two devices is meant to convey something greater. Like maybe something greater is using the idea between these two opposites of teacher and student to create something. What is it? What is this creation? What is this creative force? What is this energy that we're talking about? You know what I'm saying? What is the center aspect, the middle pillar, the center ratio that brings and also separates and also polarizes the teacher and the student, because there's something in between them that brings them, that they're closing in on. There's an energy, a void that is filled with something, and it could be nothingness. It could be filled completely with nothingness. But the thing is that nothingness has to be filled with something, which is like, it may be kind of tricky to understand the concept, but it's something to chew on, and not to spit out, but to chew on. All right. And so the idea of manifesting, and like, who's the teacher? I'm not a guru. I love the Alan Watts idea. It's like, I'm not a guru, I'm an entertainer. Right. So Ingenue, you said that you like Alan Watts. So one of my favorite things that Alan Watts has spoke about was the story of the guru, right? And I always tell the story. It's on a couple other videos, or maybe one or two of them. But so this guy's looking for a guru, and he finds him. He's like, Guru, I've been fucking looking for you everywhere. And he's like, cool. And the guy's like, Guru, I have a problem, and I need your help. I need you to help me with this problem. And the guru's like, what's your problem? And he's like, the guy's like, I'm trying to figure out who I was in my previous lifetimes, in all of my previous lifetimes. And the guru's like, he like leans in. He's like, who's asking the question? Like, which one is asking the question? And the guy's like, me, I'm asking the question. And the guru leans in again, is like, who are you? And the guy pauses and he thinks. He's like, I don't know. Like, he can't figure out which one of the past lives is asking the question, and he can't figure out which one of his past lives is him, which is a paradox, right? And so, what the moral of the story is, like, it's big. Life is bigger than what we think it is, right? Who's the one who thinks these thoughts? Another thing that Alan Watts says, who is it that's thinking these thoughts, right? So, like, if I'm mad, right, and I pause for a second, I'm like, who is the one who's angry? It's like I'm checking myself. Like, I separated myself to check myself while still being myself. Who's this one? Who is this that's angry? And way, way in the back, it'd be a version of me like this. Me, I'm angry. Well, come up here. Sit down in front of us. Everybody gather around, all the me's, all gather around and shit. Tell me, or you, which is me, why are you angry? And then I'll be like, well, this thing happened at work today, or I saw something on TV and it pissed me off, or somebody said something to me I didn't like, and like, I don't know what to do and I'm mad, right? And he's like, who is it that's mad? What the fuck? Right? So, manifesting, right? Who's the teacher? Who's the student? Could it be that they are one and the same? One can't exist without the other. Up implies down, left implies right, teacher implies student. It's funny because the ear, what came first? The sound or the ear? What came first, the sound or the ear? It's like, damn, well, fuck. Well, I don't know. I think the sound would be first, but then the ear would have to hear it, so the ear would be first, so it could hear the sound. It's like, what the fuck? I was like, well, what if? Just what if? The sound is hearing itself through the ear. Wow. What came first, the breath or the lung? Well, we assumed that air was first, but then the lung would be designed to breathe the air, so it must be put into practice first, right? Because the lung is separate from the air when it's created, but it's created to breathe the air, and the air is separate from the lung when it's created, but it's created to be breathed by the lung. What if the lung is just so the air can breathe itself? What if the ear was just so the sound can hear itself. And I gotta get this right. I'll fuck my own self up. Mental ninja my own self. The air, bear with me. The air breathes itself, and the lung, the air breathes itself through the lung, and the lung breathes itself through the air, or experiences breath through the air. It's the same. It's a reflection, basically. What I'm getting at. The sight seeing itself through the apparatus of the eye, and the eye gets to enjoy it, and the sight gets to enjoy being seen, and the eye gets to enjoy seeing. That's how it goes. The air gets to be enjoyed being breathed, and the lung gets to breathe, and it enjoys breathing the air. It's like fucking sex. It's like creation. It's like when a man and woman come together, they make a child. And it's like a beautiful thing happening. And like this orgasm that happens for the man, and this orgasm that happens for the woman, and the energy of that orgasm is a child. What is love then? Right? So what is this energy that brings the student and the teacher together? Is it maybe the same energy? The love of, the love for, the joy that the ear gets on hearing, and the joy that the sound gets on being heard? What a beautiful concept, right? So who's the one manifesting? How does manifestation work? The bugs are all up on that light right now, and they're being drawn to that light like the moth to the flame. What draws the moth to the flame? What draws the flame to the moth? What's in between? Love. So if you want to manifest, I'm going to tell you a secret. Consider a world where you created yourself into the world so you can manifest. So are you saying to me, Mental Ninja, that you manifested an entire world that you can come into and manifest some more? Why? Because manifestation is joy. Manifestation is bliss. Manifestation is like orgasmic, right? On a thelemic. If any of my thelemites watch this, you'll be like, oh yeah, shit, the joy. It's a joy. You know what I'm saying? Into the joy of my rapture. Oh, what a beautiful day. You know? And so when you're manifesting, what is it that you want to manifest, right? When you were born, did you know that there's going to be air? Did you know there's going to be food? Did you know there's going to be sights? Did you know there's going to be sound? Did you know about any of these things? No, you probably say, no, I didn't. But like, did you or didn't you? Because you have the air, the lungs to breathe it. You have the ears to hear it. You have the eyes to see it. And you have the stomach to eat it. And you also have teeth, and you also have a throat, and it's like intestines, and all this is a big fucking beautiful system working together. And are you sure you didn't put this all together? Or maybe you did, you just didn't want to let yourself know so you can have some fun experiencing the creation. Ooh. So what would you like to manifest? Maybe you've already manifested everything that you need to manifest, and now it's just putting all the pieces back together. Okay, that's why I love children. Children build fucking Legos and shit, and what they do, they blast them to bits and shit, and they build them again and stuff. They imagine all these fucking things. It's like, you know what's funny, because a child imagines so much, right? But what kind of imagining is happening before the child can speak? When the baby's just looking around and laughing, and it's like, oh, he sees angels. What if that baby's just manifesting more, manifesting his whole future, and it comes to a point where it's like, all right, time to suit up for the game. Time to get lost in Wonderland. Time to get lost in fucking, lost in fucking New York or some shit, right? Time to get lost in the Lord of the Rings. So many paths to choose, and they're all set right before you. You know, so the idea would be to know that you have the ability to manifest by knowing that you are the manifestation right now. Learning about yourself. Because, like, it would be a shame to have all these tools and not know how the tools work. What do I mean, tools? Tools, 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 tools. tools. This is the apparatus, right? This is the vehicle. These are all the functioning parts of the vehicle. Tools, opposing thumb, grabbing things. And this is a tool too, right? But watch it, see if it works itself. I'm thinking about it, but nothing's happened, but watch this. You see all those motions I made? I pulled the lighter down, raised the thumb, put pressure, turned it, clicked it, whatever, flicked it, and the light comes. I manifested that. I made all the desired motions for a preconceived outcome, right? So manifestation is probably that easy. But I would have to know how this works. But before I know how this works, I didn't know how these work. But before I know how these work, I didn't know how this works. But before I know how this works, I didn't know how this works. And before I know how that works, I didn't know how this works. And before I know how that works, I didn't know how this works. And before that, I know how that works. I need to know how this works. We manifest the desires of our heart. Let me show you something. Let me see if you can see the stars. See that? It's a star. Trees. Look at this whole place. It's already pre-manifested. Who put it all together? Who put all this together? Who's doing this though? Me. I manifested that move. I decided to do that. Now, when it comes like manifesting something that's elusive, something that is like, will it happen or won't it happen? There's a key to understanding this. And in Thelema, we call this magic. M-A-G-I-C-K. We have a definition for it. The science and art of causing change in conformity with will. And the idea of the will to the Thelemite is more or less the true nature, the true motivational force, the true desire, right? And so how do we understand this desire? Well, it's simple. It's built into our own construct. What is the will of the eye? To see. What is the will of the ear? To hear. What is the will of the lung? To breathe. Now there's a will outside, I got hiccups. There's a will outside the lungs though. That's the air. What is the will of the air? To be breathed, rightly so. What is the will of the sight? To be seen, rightly so. What is the will of the ear? To be, or the sound? To be heard, rightly so. What is the will of the food? To be eaten. And it's funny because we have stomachs, right? And food goes into the stomach, right? And before we ate, the food was already implied. So it was waiting for us. Manifestation. What you are looking for is also looking for you. What you are seeking is waiting to be discovered. But the discovery is not coming from outside of you. It comes from within you. And the discovery doesn't come from within you. It comes from outside of you. It's that fucking energy. It's that vibration. And when you eat the food, look, an apple on a tree is going to be eaten somehow by something. Whether it's a worm, whether it's an insect, whether it's a bird or an animal or a monkey, whether it's a dog when it falls off the tree, whether it's a human, whether it's the stomach, or whether it's the earth itself, it will be devoured. It will return back to where it comes. Proof? Whatever eats is going to shit it right back out. It's going to go to the ground. It's going to become compost. Whatever you eat, from ashes to ashes, dust to dust. And it will return back to from that which it came. But it will return to which, I gotta say this right. It will return to, damn, I'm fucking myself up. That's just so dope. It returns that to which the ash to ash, dust to dust. The apple will return to from there that which it came, which is the earth. And then after it goes back to the earth, it will return from that from which it came, which is to the tree. and then it'll return from that which it came into the apple. And the whole process starts all over again. So like, the idea of manifesting, you might want to know who's doing the manifesting. When we're talking about tools, you need to know how the tools work, because we can end up using hammers on screws and screwdrivers on nails. And the structure that we're effectively building will not be an effective structure at all for building. It would be an effective structure for collapse. And when it collapses and we're still inside working on it, it will collapse on us. And if anybody's around us or outside the structure while it's collapsing, they may be injured. So it's important to learn the use of the tools, the proper use of the mind. The proper use, and the mind is the perceiver of all the experiences that are able to be perceived. But the real source comes from the heart, and it's not the heart. Mind you that heart is an anagram for earth. Heart, EARTH. Just move the H to the front. Ash to ashes, dust to dust. Okay? So like, what, let's say, okay, I want to manifest money, right? That's the main manifestation, right? Or love, right? Or a nice house, or a certain object, right? There's work that's involved. First, it would be important to know the avenue where that manifestation will take you. So if you want to manifest money, you're going to have to do things that are in line with that energy returning. So you put the energy out like sonar. You send out the wave, right? And it'll ping and it'll return back to you, right? And the closer you get, the quicker the ping will return, like bats. You know what I'm saying? They use a sonar or whatever, radar, your sonar, right? Or radar, whatever the fuck, your sonar. You know what I'm saying? So like, first you have to have the idea. Okay, I want to make money, manifest money. How much money do I want to manifest? Let's start simple. Let's start with $1. Okay, cool. There's multiple ways to get $1. I can ask somebody for $1. I can ask somebody for a penny. I can ask 100 people for a penny, and I'll have 100 pennies eventually, and I can get the dollar exchange. I can ask 4 people for a quarter. I can ask 10 people for a dime. I can ask 20 people for a nickel. I can ask 2 people for 50-cent pieces, right? So there's a means to an end, right? There's a way that, a plan of action, right? And just doing the plan is one thing, but putting the action with the plan is another thing. And what happens is you manifest by solidifying and turning that energy solid, right? So currency, there's a word inside currency. Current. What's current mean? Flow. The water current. It flows a certain way, and the current takes the water with it, or the water takes the current with it, or whatever. Anything caught in that current will go with the water, right? Now, current also implies energy. There's a current of energy that goes from a plug from the plug into the socket, and it's a connection being made, a female and male socket. It's like, oh, we're going back into sex again. We're going back into orgasm and creation and Big Bang and life. So the idea of manifesting, you're the first manifestation, maybe second, maybe third, maybe fourth, who knows? But for right, that's all intents and purposes. Say you're the first manifestation. You're the original man, the Adam Cadman. And everything around you is a reflection of the initial experience, okay? So all that you need to use to manifest is going to be all within you and all around you as well. In the Gnostic Gospel Thomas, Jesus says, if anyone says to you, lo, the kingdom of heaven is at hand, I say to you, the birds of the air will precede you, and the fish of the sea will precede you. But I say to you, the kingdom of heaven is now. It is within you and all around you. That's a fucking super science. Super duper, super saiyan level 1 million science. And it's a science explaining you to yourself from a separate perspective of a story by Jesus Christ. Okay? Psychologically, fractally, the farther you go into the fractal, the farther the fractal will go from you. But you're still traveling, right? And you always have an ability to manifest a deeper travel, okay? So going back to money and the currency, it's important to align our energies with the idea. And that means that there's going to be, with understanding, right? That's the understanding is I want to manifest this. I understand that this is what I want, $1. We're keeping with $1, right? there's a responsibility. So if I understand I want $1, then the responsibility is I have to act out what I know. I have to set myself on the course, right? And the responsibility is like I have to align myself with this idea and work towards it, right? And so the responsibility can't be like I want $1 and I'm gonna go right back in the house and go right back to bed, because the dollar's not gonna manifest itself. The dollar's out there, and you have to manifest it through an exchange of energy. And the energy of moving around, walking, develops heat and shit. It gets the blood pumping, and you get to moving and shit. You know what I'm saying? You can go places and stuff. Energy of water sustains you while you're on the way. Food sustains you while you're on your way to accomplish this great work, if you want to say. And so you get up out your house, you go chase the dollar. That's the responsibility. Is you have the understanding, you know, well, prove it. That was a responsibility, right? So the understanding with the great responsibility. But then there's a great suffering, a greater suffering. And that means that you'll have to work. Just bottom line. You're going to have to get your feet dirty. You're going to have to fucking use your body muscles. You're going to have to use, you know, your mental disciplines to stay on the course, to stay in the current. And I'm going to relate this to the current too, with the water and electricity. So the greater suffering, which sounds like, oh my God, like torture, like fucking oppression. Well, kind of, but not in a bad way that we can see as unfavorable. Because if the end outcome is favorable, then it can transmute the unfavorable elements into necessary evils, means to an end. And we're talking about without corrupting or misleading or persuading or conforming or diverting anybody else's will as a means to an end, where you're treating them as commerce or you're using them in a manipulative, unethical, negative way. Okay, the best goal is to safely merge into traffic and not swap paint with the car to the net left of you. Makes sense? All right, so, and the greater suffering is now you have to get your feet and your hands dirty. There might be some blisters because that dollar bill might be 2 blocks down the street. So you might want to get your shoes on. That dollar bill may be on the other side of the mountain. So you might want to bring some hiking equipment. You know what I'm saying? You might want to prepare for the trip. Okay, that means labor, that means work, that means preparation, that means focus. Remember, understanding, great responsibility, greater suffering. That means that you cannot deviate from the course. If you do deviate, you will have the knowledge within yourself that you've deviated, that you gave up, that you stopped. And that in itself is a form of suffering, a form of sadness. Like, damn, I did all this and I stopped, right? And then when one suffers, you'll suffer too. So that means that you got to merge successfully with that onto the interstate, off of the on-ramp without swapping paint with the car next to you. I hope this makes sense. That means you don't have the. I mean, if you want to take advantage of people, you will. But when they suffer, you suffer too. Straight up. Straight up. And if you see somebody that's on the same path, and this is it. Let's say you find that dollar. But you see somebody in a situation that's worse than you with your dollar, and they can benefit more from that dollar than you can, suffering. Now you have to be like, do I keep or do I help this person? Well, let's say this. You should help that person because you didn't have the dollar when you started, right? Now you do. And this science can be repeated because you are the initial manifestation. It's all implied. Just like the apple goes to the earth and comes back as a tree into an apple again and apples itself again, you'll be able to reach that goal again. And that's where suffering comes. That's where the understanding comes. Like, man, I may fail. I may have to stop and start over. And that's responsibility. Is like, you know, I may have to help somebody with what I'm looking for that may be in a worse position than me, that may benefit from this more than I will. But this is the secret, is you got the dollar. And we're just talking about $1. $2, same rule of thumb. $3, same rule of thumb. You can put that in exponents as many as you want, you know. But it's not the money that's the goal. It's not the destination. It's the journey to get there that creates this fucking beauty. That's where the manifestation happens, in the creation, not in the end product. Because if we just fucking, you know, microwave, you know, or fucking, you know, snap our fingers and it's there, it's like there's no joy, there's no experience, there's no worth, there's no value applied into it. And that's why, going back to the idea of sex, you know, creation is so beautiful, so blissful, because there's so much fucking work. Them motherfuckers bumping and grinding and moaning and doing all this stuff and rubbing and kissing and hugging and touching, loving, touching, squeezing each other on some journey shit, right? So, you know what I'm saying? And out of all that understanding, the understanding that there's a connection and my bad, and the responsibility to participate in this play, this festival between man and woman, between self and other, between want and have, between plan and goal, or play and goal, sports, you know, there's the suffering, and that's the dissolution, right? That's the annihilation of the two concepts together that creates the manifested goal. The idea manifests itself out of the fucking the rapture and the joy of understanding when it meets wisdom. When understanding meets responsibility and it's a match, it creates a child, and that's suffering. And it sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but the thing is that's where all the work is at. That's the point of all this. So you'll have to see that, right? I'm a father. Me and my ex-wife, we had sex, and our son was conceived. And now, the greater suffering is we have to maintain that. I have to maintain that flame of my child that's manifesting this world as his own sentient being. He is the new Adam Cadman. He is the first and last of him. There's never going to be another Uriel. My son's name is Uriel, all right? We call him Yuri the Fury. We also call him the Führer, just like, yeah, you know, but there's never going to be another him. There's never going to be another you. There's never going to be another me. All these fucking Adam Cadmans, all these original man, the first and the last, the Alpha and Omega. Wait, you have A squared plus B squared equaling C squared, which is the sum of the two. Understanding with great responsibility equals the greater suffering. See what I'm talking about? Man plus woman equals child. Sun plus moon equals earth. Up plus down equals middle. Life plus death, or birth plus death equals life. And we all have to suffer through it to the end, right? So everything's manifested. Whatever you want is already there. If it's love, this is what I would say. The suffering is that maybe you want to become the person that you're looking for before you find them. So you don't have to find them. They'll find you because you manifest them within yourself. And opposites attract. And like a moth to a flame, what they've been drawn to is them inside of you. And what you've been drawn to is you inside of them. And you're just reuniting yourself with yourself. From divided by love's sake at a chance at union, for a chance at union. The game of life. If you want to manifest like some kind of spiritual practice or how to meditate, you can start with a simple meditation. Like, okay, how do I meditate on manifestation? And it's like, how do I manifest through meditating, right? So first, let's start simple. Let's manifest the initial meditation and repeat. You know, you will realize you are more powerful than you ever could have imagined. So powerful that you created food before you even got here. You created your stomach so you can eat it. So you can participate in the great ritual, in the equinox of the gods. But ye, O my people, rise up and awake. Let the rituals be performed with joy and beauty. There are rituals for the elements and a feast for the times, a feast for the first night of the prophet and his bride, a feast for the 3 days of the writing of the book of the law, a feast for Tahuti and the children of the prophet, secret or prophet. Life is beautiful. Life is so amazing. And you as an individual, whatever you want to manifest, you will be able to do it. Understanding with great responsibility comes greater suffering. And once you can be okay with, like, you know what, I have to work at this. And I have to work at learning myself. You can't get away from labor. Even being lazy takes work, because you have to remind yourself not to fucking do shit. So the same rule of thumb applies, right? When you're looking for the teacher, experience is the best teacher. Welcome to Soul School. You are the Big Bang that created all of this. And you created an aspect of yourself in all this to experience the creation. You manifested this. You haven't stopped manifesting. It's manifesting as it goes. And you did all this from before. That is not like a fucking brain start leaking out my nose on that idea. There's nothing new under the sun. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. The mind is like a garden. Whatever seed you plant is a thought. A seed can be a thought of corn, a good thought. A seed can be a thought of hemlock, which is a bad thought. Corn keeps you alive. Hemlock will fucking kill you, right? And whichever thought you water the most is the one that's going to return the most and the one you're going to feed off of. Because ashes to ashes, dust to dust. And if you grew a big-ass plant of hemlock on some negative thoughts in your head, you're still going to eat that. Because remember, just because the stomach don't eat it, the worm don't eat it, the animal don't eat it, the monkey don't eat it, the insect don't eat it, the place it came from, it's going to eat it. It's going to absorb it. It's going to devour it. The earth will eat it. Earth is an anagram for heart. And it will feed the heart off the same negativity. So it's mindful to learn how to cultivate. It's mindful to learn how to culture and grow the seeds of your own soul. Because you are the farmer. What do you say? One of my favorite rappers, Vast Air, from Cannibal Ox, says, if I'm the farmer, if I'm the author, I'm also the farmer, stupid. Like, yeah. If you're the author of the story, if you're the author of your own story, the hero of your own journey, you're also the fucking hero. If you're the author, you're the hero. If you're the author, you're also the farmer. It's your story, remember. So manifesting, is it a good day when you say it's a good day because you said it's a good day? What makes it a good day? Is an idea? Or have you an understanding of something and you understand it so well, you have the great responsibility to say it, and then the greater suffering to exist in it. So is it really a good day? Is it a bad day? Let me ask you something. See the night sky behind me? Which night was a better night? Yesterday's night or tomorrow's night? Or today's night? Which night's the good night? Or is it just night? And is it even that? Whatever you want to manifest is your choosing. It calls a healthy, it calls caution for a healthy understanding of what is that you choose to manifest. Why do you choose to manifest it? And what will you do with it after you manifest it? Your life, your existence is a gold mine. You are a living gold mine. And you get to keep all the gold. You get to keep the gold mine as long as you give all the gold away. So whatever you manifest, it's important to know that if you don't use it, somebody else can. And if they need it, you should let them. Because you're the manifester and you can do it again. You are the earth. You can grow the tree. You can sprout the seed to the apple. You can ripen the apple, and you can pick the apple yourself, and you can eat it. Whether you eat it through a worm, whether you eat it as an insect or animal, or whether you let it fall to the ground and let it devour back into yourself. As above, so below. As within, so without. This shit's free. I'm not fucking Billy Carson gonna charge you for this shit. Billy Carson looking for low-hanging fruit. And that's what he manifests, the ability to do so. And people suffer. But when you suffer, I suffer. When he suffers, I suffer. When they suffer, we suffer. It's energy, it reflects. There's no way you can get away from it. The goal is to understand how to reflect and the nature of reflection. And the great manifestation is when we realize that it's all me, or it's all you. I am him and I am he and he is I. Everybody's I. You all know you're you. So I hope that answers your question. But it's not even an answer. You probably have more questions, because the question would be, does it work? But do we need to see that it works, or is it more important to see that we've already been doing it and didn't even know it? You are the perfect manifestation. Whoever watched this, you're the perfect manifestation. Know that. Don't let nobody tell you differently. Don't even let yourself tell you differently. You got that motherfucker way in and back like, hey, I don't agree with you. You're like, shut the fuck up, me, sit down. Matter of fact, come up here, me. Tell us why. Tell the rest of us why you don't agree with it. Sit down and have a conversation with yourself. Sit down and acknowledge your thoughts. Observe your thoughts. Question your thoughts. And question the thought that questions the thoughts. And you'll see what's going on. All these fucking thoughts, all these fucking people, all manifesting together, having fun in a giant fucking realm called Earth, called life, right? Sit down with your demons. Learn. Have coffee, have tea with them, and find out what bothers them so. And ask if there's anything you can do to help. A lot of times you'll find that the demon is an old resentment, an old bitterness that has not been able to be released from its cage. It's really a child stuck in a dark place. It's like in the horror movie. You always get the little fucking kids trapped in the motherfucking basement and shit that has been buried behind the wall. He's haunting the people of the house because he is the house. Just as much the people are the house because that's where they live. And he also, the demon weirdo kid that's dead is also living there. And he needs to be free so he can rest. And they need to free him so they can be free and they can fucking rest. So these ideas are nothing I come up with. These are ideas that are all of ours. It's a reflection of the greater idea that creates all ideas. There's an idea that creates all the other ideas. Isn't that an idea itself? As above, so below. As within, so without. You are what you fucking eat, my nigga. So have a treat. And if you're worried about what to do, remember that every time you take a breath of air, the air is already there waiting to be breathed. Waiting to meet the lung and have a little fucking cup of tea. And when you breathe out, the lung is waiting to send some air to the rest of the air to have some tea. Hey man, where were you at? Oh, I just went over to the homie, the lung's house. Oh, how he doing? Oh, he's doing good. He told me to tell you this. What? I'm here. You know? So when you're worried if things come to you, just know that you're manifesting every fucking breath you breathe. It was already there right in front of your face. You just couldn't see it, but you can feel it. So just pause and be like, what do I do next? And the answer will present itself. And if you don't know what to do, just take a breath and know. The answer was right there. Life is beautiful. I hope this helps. I'll title this Ingenue Blue, I believe that's the name. I'll title this to you, and I hope it helps. And if you have any more questions or whatever, just drop a comment. If you like it, drop a comment, share with your friends, put on your Facebook. Help me grow my channel, because only way I get to learn is from you guys. You guys are my air, and I'm the lung, or really, I'm the air and you're the lung, or maybe we're just both the air and the lung communicating with each other to have an experience. Life is beautiful. All my Thelemites, do what thou wilt should be the whole of the law. Love's law, love under will. Kansu camp, stand up. 93s, y'all. Mental Ninja, welcome to the dojo. Hope y'all have fun. Peace, light, and love. Many blessings. And I'm out.